Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Wars Insight. Today we're going to go over how Luke Skywalker fought the Grand Inquisitor in the Canon Marvel comic that takes place right after The Empire Strikes Back. This issue starts off with Luke in a search of a new lightsaber after losing his on Cloud City. This led him to a planet covered in lightning storms which made it very difficult to fly through, but eventually him and R2 touched down to the planet's surface to an old Jedi temple which housed a small collection of Jedi relics. Now, this temple wasn't like any other one. It was actually one of the last Jedi temples left in the galaxy after the Purge, and this one was haunted by the spirit of the Grand Inquisitor. So, for those who don't know, he died at the end of Season 1 of the show Star Wars Rebels by killing himself after a duel with the Jedi Knight Kanan, letting himself fall back into the endless pit of flames, although his spirit was kept alive by Darth Vader as punishment for his failure. Vader did this through ancient Sith techniques he learned from Darth Maul in his attempt to resurrect Padme from the 2017 Charles Sword Darth Vader comic. If you want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments. Now, if you remember, the Grand Inquisitor's last words were,
"There are some things far more frightening than death."
and this is what he was talking about, his biggest fear of being punished by Darth Vader. Although this punishment was far worse than anything else that could have happened, it was by becoming a dark side ghost and living as the eternal curse at this Jedi temple. Now, back to Luke. Almost immediately after walking in the temple, the first thing he sees is an old Jedi temple guard lightsaber. Although this seemed way too easy, Luke already had his new lightsaber as if it was placed there for him, as if it was a trap. The Grand Inquisitor used this technique multiple times to lure in light side force users and to kill them. This was one of Vader's best laid traps to wipe out the last of the Jedi remnant, along with his help of the Inquisitors. As Luke admires the yellow blade, the fiery Grand Inquisitor appears behind him, his spirit still in flames from his demise. He says,
"Be careful what you wish for, boy."
The fragmented spirit promised Luke that this trip to the temple will be his last, the same as all the other Jedi he has killed. Floating towards Luke, hovering in red fire, he ignites his red Inquisitor lightsaber, the same one he has killed countless Jedi with. Luke, igniting his newly claimed golden Jedi Temple Guard lightsaber, the yellow hue of the blade reflects on his face, confirming to Luke that this was a relic of the old Jedi Order, and that the Jedi were gone, although that there was still hope. The Grand Inquisitor and the young Jedi Luke Skywalker in an all-out duel. From the first clash, the Inquisitor could sense Luke had barely any lightsaber training, and that he could end this fight quicker than realized. Although he did not want to end this too quickly, there were few Jedi that came to this temple because so many of them have already been wiped out by Vader and his dogs. This was a curse of eternal hell for the Grand Inquisitor, and this was his only relief, through these duels and to kill the Jedi. So he began to mock Luke as if he was playing with his food to savor this fight. Although this is when Luke answered back. He pulled his saber behind his shoulder and swung it down as hard as he could on the Inquisitor. Barely blocking the attack, the fiery spirit began to realize the raw strength of the untrained Jedi and smartly decided to ignite the bottom blade of his lightsaber to parry when in a clash. This resulted in Luke trying to stay confident when he was speaking of the Jedi, but he paused for a moment and started to realize that this might not go the way he thought it would be. This was Luke's first true fight against a Sith, mostly because the duel on Cloud City, Vader was merely toying with Luke and swiftly defeated him, and mostly to convince Luke to join him on the dark side. But this was different. This was a true test for Luke. The Inquisitor slashing through the artifacts in the temple, setting everything on fire. Luke is barely parrying the blows of the Crimson Blade, and at this point, the Inquisitor truly believes he has Luke where he wants him, preparing for one last strike to end Skywalker. This temple won't save the Jedi, and it won't save you. But before he could, Luke force pushed him across the room and swiftly took his yellow lightsaber and cut off the arm of the Inquisitor, and then took one slice to the torso area and split the spirit into two. And then the spirit vanished into thin air. Afterwards, Luke left the temple with his new lightsaber, with a new sense of confidence and hope in his Jedi abilities, that every attempt on his life, the Force had persevered. And now, for the Grand Inquisitor, his spirit remained as it was. He could not be killed, but through the dark side it continued to haunt the Jedi Temple, living with a curse far worse than death. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, that helps me out a lot. And let me know in the comments on what comic or characters you would like to see me cover next in a duel for a future video. Make sure to be subscribed with the notification bell on to get notified for the best Star Wars lore daily here on Star Wars Insight. Until we meet again, my fellow sentient life forms in this vast Star Wars galaxy, may the Force be with you.
Always.